Life in Christ is good. Christ loves you all. You are Creation 13. I'm Ambassador. I'm Starseed. And today I'm going to title this video Spiritual Leaders and Pastors. Um, and pretty much, whenever someone has a bad experience in their life or they're searching for um, the Spirit, which Spirit translates into breath, when they're looking for their soul, they go to these spiritual teachers or these religious pastors. This is throughout the whole world. Those who search for the soul will look for some kind of guidance or guidelines. But what ends up happening a lot of times is that um, while they're trying to discover soul, um, the soul is lost. They don't teach you how to go within. They just teach you um, what their descendants say, what you need to do. They tell you you need to do this, you need to do that. You don't do this, you don't do that, and then your life will be good, right? That's pretty much what you get, no matter what. And then in other countries, you know, other forms of tradition of spirituality, they go through a lot of uh, techniques. They make you practice these kind of techniques, chants, so on and so forth, and they make you do it over and over and over and over again, without even understanding why you're doing it. Again, they don't focus on the soul, they focus on the outside world. They focus on human teachings. And basically, that's why I'm making this video, is because, you know, the trends are still out there. You go to other parts of the world, and their traditions are still intact. You know, the guidelines are there, but people who seek for the soul end up getting lost in the texts and the chants and all that stuff. And same with religion in general, and now with so many people talking about how to discover the soul, discover the spirit, it's starting to become the same thing. Just like myself, I am sharing my experiences and my viewpoints, but I don't expect you to take every word that I say as truth, but just as research. That's all what all my videos are for, is for research. Based on my personal experiences, and that's exactly what it needs to be, and that's exactly the way you should view anybody who makes a video, is use it as research. And like I said since the beginning of my videos, is always look within. Your soul is within, your temple is within you. All the answers that you seek are within you. The battle of angels and demons dwell inside you, and that is very deep, and you need to discover that for yourself. So, you know, when I discovered this, online journey, because I was born and raised in a Christian home, so religion was a part of my life, since childhood. And then it was deeper before that, ever since I was a little kid, since I can remember. And I've said this before, since I was about 1 or 2, when my sister was born. Um, I had all these really detailed uh, visions, dreams, um, demons, shadow beings, angels, all these things when I was at an early age. They're very symbolic, and to me, it didn't make any sense why me as a child would have these kind of um, symbolic dreams, that I didn't get. But in some ways, I did get it. More than likely, that veil was not fully on. And I read something today about that very thing, and that's why this popped up. Is that some of us are actually born with the veil lifted, and it's just trying to get out of the culture that you're born into, of the human teachings that people teach you. You have to get out of that because that veil's already lifted. So if you go back within yourself, go back into your soul, go back into your temple, you're going to be able to unlock it a lot quicker compared to those who are more than likely have reincarnated in this world many, many times and has lost that veil. Um, and it's really is a tricky subject right there. But anyways, that's not what I talk about. But it does fall into it. But yeah, I've been just kind of observing how, on how people um, view things, and take things so literally. And when I went on this online spiritual journey, I came across three people that have um, helped me look at things differently. Um, and you may know these names, you may not. But they are um, Ryan DeRowan, who created the whole Team Light thing. But even though Team Light has been around for thousands and thousands of years, but he shared his viewpoints on things. There's also Jeffrey Hinchy, Jeffrey of Sky. Um, he's an interesting fellow. His earlier videos were awesome, and then he just, I think, is a perfect example of of how your spiritual soul journey can progress, deprogress, progress again, and deprogress. That's what I learned. What to look for um, in your in your uh, in your soul experience. As you're trying to learn about spirit and stuff, because you're gonna go through your ups and downs. You're gonna go through the trials and challenges of um, of experiencing a soul experience, a spiritual experience. You're gonna have people who are gonna be very negative to you. You're gonna meet positive people. You're gonna meet too much positive people. That they are just all about love, 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 but they refuse to look at um, the other things of you can be blinded by love. That's what I've learned from Jeffrey of Sky. And we've had our um, exchange of viewpoints on a lot of things, but he's definitely been an aid in my spiritual path. I mean, if you know the guy, um, you know what I'm talking about. He can be a pretty interesting character. And then the 13th son. Um, to me, he has been spot on with my path. Like literally, a lot of the things he talks about, I have experienced through my whole life. And a lot of the information that I receive within is very similar to his. So I can relate with him a lot more compared to Ryan and Jeffrey of Sky. Um, but as a whole, those three people, Ryan DeRuin, Jeffrey of Sky, and the 13th Son, have been my uh, to look and see where I'm at spiritually on a physical level, and then go back into my soul level. And it's interesting, it's three because that forms the Trinity. And you'll notice that a lot, that you will meet at least three people who are of either an inspiration or who has motivated you to keep going forward. And that's a very key thing to look at in your life. Do you have those inspirational people to help you keep going? Um, and this may contradict this video, but it doesn't, because um, I'm expressing that I'm learning. I'm not following these people. I'm learning from them. And maybe they've learned from me. I don't know, because I've I've had talks with Land of Ruin and Jeffrey of Sky, but I haven't talked too much with 13 Sun. He's been the most busiest one out of all of them, but that's a good thing. So yeah, it's very interesting, and I've become my own, in the sense of growing constantly, not just going by hearsay, word slogans, one love, um, amen, uh, namaste, 13 love, um, you know, those are catchphrases, but they also have deeper meanings. And I came up with a scenario is, you need to look at these words. Do you say them because you know what they mean, or do you say them just because it's a trend and you're like, oh, I know what's up with the soul and the spirit and the world changing, so I can say these words. Do you view it like that? Do you really know the meaning of the words, or are you just saying them just to fit in? You know, I came with this analogy. It's like, when you're in church and you fall asleep, right? You're sleeping, and then all of a sudden you hear everybody say amen, then you go amen, amen, and then church is over. Do you it, do you know what you're saying? Do you truly take to heart, to your soul, what these words mean? Namaste is, definitely a new age word, when it means that we are all gods. And again, that's a very deep meaning that you need to really grasp what that means. You can't just say namaste because everybody's saying it. That's pretty much what the light workers and New Age people just say it just because. It makes them fit in. Same with one love. Do you truly get what that means? It means that you are your own in a sense, but in the end, you are one. When you leave this world, you're not leaving with the whole planet. You're leaving by yourself. You have to truly realize that you are leaving this world by yourself, and that's very deep. So if you ever want to say one love, you need to truly understand that instead of just saying one love because everybody else is saying it. And then the most famous one, at least from my viewpoint, is 13 Love. And this one is extremely deep. Um, a lot of people are just using this word just to say it. Again, thinking it's just a trend or just to fit in. But 13 Love is very symbolic. I've said this many times before, that 13 to me is not a number. It is the foundational structure of creation. It is. And you put 13 together, it forms B. And B is symbolic for, bees, the collective, um, um, sprouting new life into the world, spreading the seeds into the world. The bees, the bees of the world, the insect, the bee, they're the ones that create life, for us to eat. If it wasn't for them, we would not have many of the vegetables and fruits that we have in the world. If they don't pollinate, we're not getting it. And it's hidden symbolic. And a lot of people will mistranslate and say, well, it just is the 13 dimensions or 13 states of consciousness, which it is in a sense, but 13 Love has to do with creation. It has to do with the love of creation, understanding why we're here in the first place. I've been very passionately telling, you the viewers, that we were here to help nurture the world, take care of the world, be the gardeners of this world. That was our job, period. And it got lost and corrupted along the way. So 13 love to me is, as when you truly understand this deep meaning, it's very powerful. And you need to really look at these and understand what you're saying. Because I've watched quite a few videos of people just trying to act like the 13th Son, or act like Ryan to Ruin. They try to act like them instead of discovering the beauty of you. You're beautiful. You have a lot to say. But if you haven't discovered your spirit, if you haven't, which is breath, if you haven't discovered that spiritual breath and your soul, then you don't know who you are. You know the society version of you. The person that was built upon society, be it TV, school, college, the work environment. Society built you. Society built your personality. They built you. But your spiritual energy and your soul, they did not build. It's a whole different frequency. Because you got the physical body, the spiritual body, the mental body, and the emotional body. You got 4 bodies you have to learn to master to become one with self. And a lot of people just have the physical body, but they have not discovered the spiritual, and the mind body. I think I got that confused, but anyways. But yeah, you got 4 bodies that you have to discover. And you can't just go by words. You're not going to make a soul discovery with words alone. You really have to be very passionate about this. I've been very passionate about this since I've made my videos, and I started a year before. I started making videos in 2011, I believe, but I woke up, became more aware and did a lot of research in 2010. And I've stuck at it. I've seen so many people in the past, it would be about 5 years, yeah. The past 5 years of people falling away like nothing. They're falling away from their soul. They're falling away from spirit, and just diving into other things. And some of them, yeah, they make sense, but you should never lose touch with your soul. And, that's the key thing that makes you. This is just a physical vessel, a physical interaction for your soul to progress through life and through the million challenges that you're collecting, because you're collecting um, everything you experience. You are the book of life. As hard as that is to fully grasp, it is. But yeah, if you're watching this, and you are just following people, whether it be 13 Love, 13 Sun, Ryan to Ruin with Team Light, if you're just following these people and just saying words just to say them, you got to dig deeper, man. You got to dig right into your soul and discover what that temple is. And it can be very, I don't want to say scary, but very eye-opening. You will truly discover your inner fears and demons within you, and it's nothing to be scared of. It's there for you to master. Like I said, you have angels and demons that are battling inside you, and you have to progress out of that. And it takes a long time. It does. When I first woke up in 2010, I did a lot of meditation and a lot of experimenting on how to do different meditations and energy work. Unlike other people, I've never done drugs um, at all, not once in my whole life. And when I went on the spiritual journey, I still didn't take any drugs. All of my experiences was not manipulated in any way. The only manipulation that may have taken place is when you go inside and you begin to hear the many voices of the spirit realm, the soul realm. That's where you have to really start decoding um, what is truth and what is not. And I've been taught, or I self-taught myself, to not take what everything tells me literally. And that's another key thing about this whole new age uh, team life thing, is that people take things so literally. They have spirits and they just think, or souls, they just think, oh, they're above us, and what they tell us is the truth, so we need to follow it, and that's it. They never question it. And it was very cool because, well, not that, but I was on a site, and this scripture popped up. It says, let's see, John, I think it's chapter 1, verse 4, maybe, or verse 1, I don't know. It's in John, but it says here. Hold on. Oh crap. Ah, dang it. Okay, hold on. Here we go. It says, Beloved, believe not every spirit, but test the spirits, which is the soul. Test the souls, whether they are of God or the universal God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. And that's something to really think about. That, like I said, there's many people that are sharing their views on things, sharing what is to come, what we're experiencing. It's realizing that that you need to listen, and observe, and do your research. Like I said, don't believe everything that your soul guides tell you, or whatever being that you come across, soul being that you come across. Don't take their words literally. Do your research. Gotta do your research. Right? It astonishes me that nobody wants to do research. They think that they need to be added to a community, a website, a thing on Facebook, some kind of group, to fit in. And you're not here to fit in. You're here to, you know, share your experiences and views and grow and learn from each other. Just like talked about in the previous video. People don't seem to want to, just work things out. They get very fearful and scared when somebody says something and it's not agreeable to their belief structure or their faith or religious structure, whatever. When it doesn't agree with them on that, they get defensive. That's something. That's something that definitely takes practice. I had to work on that myself. I think I had a whole year where I was expressing my viewpoints and everybody was hacking out on me, lashing out at me. I lost friends, online. I lost friends online, and I was just like, you guys aren't listening to me. I'm saying these things, and you're thinking I'm saying something else. You know, People don't really want to compromise on things, and that's something that I definitely think everybody needs to work on. I survived it. I learned how to take things personally. And that's something that you also got to master, is not to take things personally. Again, society has built you, so you have to learn how to unbuild from what society has made you, and that definitely takes a lot of practice. So this video is getting long, but yeah, basically, don't be don't be following people and just believing, that you have to be with this certain person. This brings into the Christ energy. You know, Christ energy is within all of us. You just have to unlock that Christ energy. And what is that Christ energy? It is what is explained in the Bible. The Christ character explained very thoroughly that he was here to help humans remember who they are. And it also has to do with historical facts that there is beings here that cannot leave, which falls into the fallen angel categories, which is mainly why Christ came here in the first place. The Christ energy first came here, but the Christ energy has been around forever. But in that Bible, the Christ energy came down to help remind humans about that Christ energy because it has become so corrupt. That's why there was a flood. But it was many other things. But anyways, um, yeah, the Christ energy is very important, and it's a big part of this whole thing is that Christ energy. That's why I say, Christ loves you all. I turned it up a notch to remind you about the Christ energy. You need that Christ energy. You need to activate your soul again. You have to activate your soul. It's not just something that you just go to church or you say these fancy words, namaste, one love, 13 love. You have to truly understand those words, because when you truly understand those words, it comes from activating your soul. And when you understand energy work, it's helping you activate your soul. Words alone will not activate your soul. And that's something, again, you gotta do research on. So quit following people. Listen to them. I've told you, the 3 people that have helped me on my path, but I have not followed them. I walk beside them. And that's something to really remember, is it's okay to walk beside somebody, but never be the sheep that follows the shepherd. Because if you're a sheep following a shepherd, you're going to remain a sheep. And just wherever that shepherd walks, you're going to walk. You got to be that black sheep that needs to wander, learn, and grow within your soul and spirit. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it on that. If you got any questions, let me know. And if you want to look up the 3 names that I mentioned in this video, feel free to look them up. Like I said, I learned from them, but I don't follow them. And that's the key word. But you can meet many people that share their experiences and views. And it's up to you to start sharing your experiences and views. And not just try to make fancy slogans or words. Share your experiences. What was your dream? What kind of dreams have you been having? What kind of visions are you having? What kind of experiences are you having in the physical world? Are you having more negative experiences? Are you having positive experiences? Are you seeing shadow beings? Things like that. Share your experiences. Videos are very important right now, because it's part of creating your story. The Matrix is seeing your story unfold. When you stay behind closed doors and not make no videos, that's about it. But when you make videos, you are encoding the matrix and changing the matrix of this world. If you don't get what that means, it's okay. Just do research on it. But every time that you express your viewpoints in words, it sends codes into the matrix, and it's very powerful. Trust me, it is. So anyway, discover spirit, discover who you truly are. Don't just say these words and slogans and follow people. Walk beside them, learn, and do research, do more research, and then some more research, and continue doing research, because it is an endless journey. When you activate your soul and spirit, you will discover that your path here is an important one, but your journey is endless. You will continue on as long as you continue to activate your soul. You don't activate your soul, you won't continue on. And that's something that I probably talk about sometime in the future. So, anyways, I love you all. Christ loves you all. Discover that Christ energy. Quit following people. Become your soul self. Um, yeah, and start expanding in life. For goodness sakes, make videos. Make videos. It doesn't matter what it is, just make videos. So you can start forming who you are, see what you need to work on. I do that with myself. I will watch my own videos to observe myself and see how I'm progressing. And that's why I keep all my videos up. I'm one of the very few people that have not deleted any of my videos. And it's important to not delete your videos because you can see your spiritual growth happen and then you can have other people watch it. Um, Definitely a good thing. So anyways, Christ loves y'all. I love y'all. 13 love to y'all. And I'll talk to you in a little bit.